Hi, how are y'all doing, Stitch Roadies? Yes, it's me. I'm back. Not out in the world yet, but at least back here on FlossTube. How you doing? Yeah, I've had an up and down week. Some of you might know I had a great weekend with girlfriends who visited from out of town, and we went to Acorns and Threads, we went to Pioneer Quilts, which I'll talk more about on Quilt Roadies, but, and then just catching up with each other and stitching and sewing and doing all that fun stuff. And then after COVID visited our house, yeah, decided to come and stay. So we've been dealing with that, which has been somewhat very disappointing. We missed a couple of family events that we had planned for this week, and that was kind of sad. And but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, I am literally trapped in the beehive. Poor me, poor me. I mostly worry about G. You always worry about your family more than yourself, it seems like. But I have been doing a lot of stitching, a lot of planning, a lot of hauling. Yeah, we're talking hauling, and a lot of figuring out things. And as some of you might know, I ended up figuring out the projector that's in my house. I have had a projector in the beehive. It came with the house. I never really knew how to use it. But when the girlfriends came for the weekend, I figured it out. There was already installed in the beehive a big movie screen that you pull down, in which the projector projects onto, and so I played The Last Homely House with Kate on it, and I thought, I'm gonna figure this out. And so I started watching some floss tubes on it, and I mean, when we first moved in here, I was gonna yank it out because I thought, I don't know how to use it. And my younger son kind of gave me an idea how it might work. And so, boy, I don't look very lovely, do I? Okay, this is my COVID hair and no makeup, and yeah. Oh well. What can you do? What can you do? Anyway, back to my projector. It's been so much fun. So I ended up watching a whole season. I hadn't seen Survivor in years, but I said, I'm just going to see what it's like on this big screen. And the first couple of nights after the girlfriends left, G and I were in separate rooms, hoping to contain the contagion, which is useless because we are always together. And so I was in here watching the big screen of Survivor, and that was amazing. I'm like hooked on this projector, and all I do, for those who might want to know, is there's some kind of cord, and you plug it into the laptop, and then whatever comes up on the laptop projects onto the screen. It's pretty awesome, and now I'm kind of all about it. And I have blackout curtains, which I've never used. I keep the window open, and my neighbor across the street says it's like because of the lighting in here, and I'm stitching early in the morning, it's like the moon landing or something. But yeah, okay, I haven't had anybody to talk to for a while, can you tell? So, where was I? The projector screen. So I watched a whole season of Survivor, and then G got sick, and so there was no reason for us to be apart. There was no reason. So back in the bedroom together, and so I was watching TV in there, not on this projector. But I am here to tell you, although Survivor and Floss Tube was pretty good on the projector screen, because you could really see, yeah, for those of you that don't dust, you can really see everything because it's so blown up. So you see everything behind, you see all the hull, all the enabling really well. But I did make a mistake. I made the mistake of turning on that Netflix show, Hoarders. And you do not want to watch Hoarders on that big of a screen. It is going to freak you out. And yeah, totally not doing Hoarders on that big screen ever again. Yeah. Well, I have been getting some stitching done. My book of days is looking so pretty. And I like the simplicity of it. I can see myself doing it every year because it's just, little square. I got G's birthday there, Valentine's Day, which was kind of a bust around here, although my younger son and his family dropped on the front porch chocolate and my favorite yogurt that my daughter-in-law makes, and a sweet flowers and a sweet card. Oh, yeah, but we didn't get to spend together, and I'm going to miss my one grandson's Taekwondo belt ceremony. I really wanted to go see that, but that's how it goes. I heard they were changing the isolation protocols for COVID, but I'm still thinking that at this point we're still in isolation, so I'm going to stay in isolation through the weekend. Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. So I just have, February's already half gone. And I do have to finish 2 stars up here that I have touched those 2 projects. So sometime in the next 2.5 weeks I need to do some stitching on the No Time Like the Present Sal and on my Christmas my Christmas stitch. But otherwise, feeling kind of smug. I am feeling kind of smug. Yeah. Take a little sip here. On top of watching television, and just because I don't want to turn into this even bigger lump than I am, I have been, whenever there's a commercial, I get up and I walk around the room. And that's been pretty darn good. Yeah, that's been pretty darn good. Just to keep the blood flowing, if you know what I mean. It's been rainy off and on here, and we don't expect any real great weather for about a week, but not complaining, because this morning I was Facebook Zooming with my friend Nancy in Nova Scotia, and she's buried. Yeah, she's buried in the snow. Yeah, and I noticed that on the other side of the mountain they canceled school, so we have nothing to complain about on this side of the mountain. Should I start with haul or what I've been up to? What I've been stitching? What I've been stitching? Yeah. Having the designated stitch, and I know I sound like a broken record, but for those who don't know, I choose a project that I want to get done in my lifetime. And it's called the designated stitch. And that means that I do not make any choice. It's what I stitch on every evening when I'm watching TV. I choose one project and stitch it every evening until it's done. And so far, I have finished my younger son's birthday present, my older son's birthday present, my daughter-in-law's birthday or Christmas present. I've done a Christmas stocking for a grandchild, birthday present, and so it really does work for me because I can do a lot of wheel turning, spinning, but this allows me to relax in the evening, to know that I don't have to make any decisions. I'm just going to sit down and stitch a project till it's done. I get to do whatever I want during the daytime, but in the evening, it's going to be this project. And so I chose the trees, and for those of you that have been here from the beginning, you know that the trees have been in the queue for years, and it is a Renato Parolin project. They have an Etsy shop, and it's absolutely stunning. I'm not going to unroll the whole thing because it's huge. But making it the designated stitch and having you guys cheer me on in the comments, I am almost 100% thinking I'll have it done even before summer. So there's going to be another designated stitch in the queue. But this is, I'm amazed at how fast it's going. So the last time I showed it to you, I was working on this big tree right here. And now I have gone across the bottom to the deer, and I'm starting to work my way up on this next big tree. And the next 3 trees, which you can see what's left here, the next 3 trees are deciduous trees. I think that's what they call them when they lose their leaves. So it's a lot of, even though it's all white, it feels like a lot of confetti kind of stitching. It's not fill-in, it's a lot of stitching. So I foresee that it will be a little bit challenging, but excuse me, I think I'm going to get it done before summer. I mean, that would be spectacular. And then I'll have to go back to work so I can pay for the framing. It reminds me that when I was a kid, we used to go pick strawberries. You know, I lived on the side of town that was, it was like the low-income side of town. And just the world, you know, we all know the world is entirely different now for our grandchildren than it was for us and for our parents. Because in the summertime, the neighbor kids and I, my sister, myself, the family across the street and next door and stuff, we'd all walk down to the corner and a bus would pick us up to take us out to the field, and we'd pick strawberries. We were not very fast, but we picked strawberries, and we did that, you know, during the summertime. You'd never just tell your kid now, go down the corner, a bus is going to pick you up, and some strange bus driver is going to yeah, and you know, it's scary. You know, I had one scary experience where I was sick, and so I couldn't pick the strawberries, and I had to go back onto the bus and just lay there and wait till the end of the day came. And this guy came onto the bus, and he had me I mean, this sounds really awful, sorry, but he had me trapped on the bus, and I didn't know what to do. And then my sister came up, nothing like a big sister, and she goes, "What are you doing?" She was yelling at me like she was angry at me, but she was, you know, and he kind of stopped and looked, and he goes, "What are you doing?" You know, to me, "You get off this bus and pick the strawberries." And so I got off the bus. I was like, yay! But now, yeah, it's, now we would never let our kids do that. We would never let our kids do that. But yeah, picking the strawberries. So, yeah, and then in high school, just another thought happened. I went to this all-girls high school, and we didn't have a gym, you know. There was no gymnasium. The only gymnasium was down around the corner at the boys' school. And so during RPE, we would have to change into our gym clothes in the bathroom, and then we would run the lettuce fields. Yeah, and the artichoke fields. We would, that was our track, was running around there. You know, it wasn't a bad life. It was not a bad life. You know, it was so much simpler. Yeah, it was so much simpler. Okay, so hope that brought some memories up for you. I have been doing some stitching, so I did the designated stitch. I have been working on my acorn gathering project, and there's where I'm at. I got the windows outlined and the door done. I'm really enjoying this, and if you have an opportunity, you've got to go over and watch Stitchy Witch 42 Floss Tube, because she is doing her acorn gathering piece to embrace the Addams family, and the creativity is just wonderful. So you need to go over and watch her. It was Valentine's Day, and G and I were not going anywhere. We didn't have any energy for anything, so I just sat here and started the stitch Love You the Most, which is by the Camping Stitcher. And this is the, I bought it as a PDF download. And I'm using the same floss conversion that I used for G's Be Mine, his birthday stitch. But I chose this, I don't know where I got this fabric. It doesn't have any label on it, but it is a printed fabric, and it's pink. Yeah, that's a good representation of it. And so I'm working on that at the top there. And new start, because I had in my book of days that I was going to do start a Christmas ornament every month, and so I hadn't in February. So I went and got my Punky Pearl booklet that I keep, and this is a Christmas themed one, so it has 4 compartments which have some sort of Christmas ornament thing in it. And I decided to start with the Spirit of Christmas Set 1 by Lila's Studio. And I got this at Acorns and Threads. And again, I picked a scrap of linen, and I started it. I love this. I'm going to stitch all of the ones in that book. It's so much fun, and the colors are so pretty. All mostly, let's see, mostly DMC. Yeah. Oh, it's all DMC. Oh, except for one. But yeah, fun stitch. So I got that going. I think this month's ornament is going to be done too. Yeah, Yeah, fumbly fingers here. There we go. So how you been? Have you been doing I hope you have not had been under the weather. In the mail, I received an order, and I was kind of confused because I thought I had ordered the floss pack too. And so when I was looking at this today, I said, oh, how am I going to do a conversion? I thought I was going to do this one and just use a floss pack. And so I went back to look at my order form, and in fact I had ordered the floss pack and they just forgot to put it in there. So I wrote them an email, and like right away I got an email back that said they're going to put it in the mail. I'm keeping my fingers crossed because I would like for this to be, I've kind of gone back and forth and back and forth. You can tell that I haven't had anybody really talk to for a while. So I've gone back and forth on what I wanted my leap year Sal to be. My hashtag leap year Sal that the Camping Stitcher was organizing. And I think I had settled on this design by Ellen Reed, Maximum Cross Stitch. And I'm going to look for a, I think I have a piece of fabric that is by Trixie Tricycle, Cedar River linens, and I'm pretty sure that I have one that I wanted to use for this. And it's called, this design is the Friendship Sampler. And I just, I loved this. I have a quilt group that I have been a part of for many, 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 many years. Raised our kids, all of that stuff, worked together. And I would love to make this a homage to that history and put their initials in this. And so I went all out. I have the chart ready. The floss is on its way, praying it gets here before the 29th. And then I bought a bag. Yeah. This is by Stitch Folk. It's just an absolutely gorgeous bag, a sampler bag. And so I said, I'm doing it up right. I'm doing it up right. So I just have to wait for that. I also, oh, and then when they sent me, it's funny, they didn't send me the floss pack that I ordered, but they sent me some floss, which was really is Chalkboard by Roxy. And the floss pack that goes for that sampler is the Roxy Floss Company floss, and I just wanted to do it, yeah. So when I went to when the girlfriends came, I took them over to Acorns and Threads right away. I mean, they barely got into town. I threw them in my car and we drove directly over there. And I had some stuff in my bag over there. And this chart, I mean, this is like, you've got to have it. If you're a cross stitcher, you have to have this chart because it speaks to everything we love. And it is by Heartstring Samplery, For the Love of Stitching. And it's just all those little accoutrement things or little decorative things with stitching theme on it. Yeah, I just really love that. So Acorns and Threads had that. And then I got this. The actual mounting pieces have not come in yet, but that's okay because it's not done yet. And this is done on perforated paper, black perforated paper, which I am getting from my friend Margaret. And then I will start on that. That could count as a Christmas ornament. So maybe by the time I get everything together, that will be. And then I didn't remember that I wished for this, but it was in my bag, so, and it was adorable. It's Erin Elizabeth, Blossom and Birds. And I have been having, all you have to do is be stuck at home, with a pair of binoculars and looking out a window all the time. And the variety of birds is just amazing here. And I enjoy it. I enjoy bird watching. I think something happened. When I tipped over to the next decade. I became a bird watcher. But when I saw this, when I picked it up, I said, oh, that's just lovely. But I wonder where I could get that mounting thing, because that's just so cute. So I looked on the back of the chart, and the finishing cross-stitch frame is by Paisley and Polka Dots. And so I went on. They have their own little shop, and ordered it. And it came, but it came like I didn't know this was how it was going to come. So G will be helping me. So the whole frame is in pieces, and it has instructions, and then you have to paint it. And so that it'll turn into that little white mounting. But isn't that adorable? Yeah, it's adorable. So once G starts feeling better, he's got some work cut out for him. That sounds like something Beth Twist says to her husband all the time. I've got a job for you. Yeah. Okay, so where are we in this whole hanging out together? Books. I finished Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. I really feel like it's a must-read. It wouldn't be an easy read for everybody because some things are just so painful in it, but it truly is an eye-opening book, and there's things I learned in there I had no clue about. He lived through, actively, first person, lived through the Holocaust. And so this book, he's a psychotherapist, and this book is just, yeah, I think it's an important book. It was written a while ago, but I think it's an important book for everybody to read. So after that, I decided I needed something different. And my library, I have book requests that probably will last my lifetime. And so as they come up, I decide which one I want to read next. And right now I am in Cy Montgomery, The Soul of an Octopus. Now, I've recommended to you before to watch on that Netflix, My Octopus Teacher. And, we've read the octopus books. This one is amazing. It's just amazing. And it has actually made me feel really bad because of all the octopus I ate. I'm telling you, I grew up eating crab, and I'm allergic to shellfish now. And thank gosh I'm a vegan, because I think I'd feel horrible now if I could, if I had to eat something that I could look in their face. I know, it sounds so horrible. But when you read The Soul of an Octopus, you will, I mean, you won't ever want to eat octopus again if you do, because you realize that, oh man, yeah, it's such a good book. It's such a good book. So put it on your list. You know, I don't very often steer you wrong, so put it on your list if you haven't already. And so I told you about Hoarders and Survivor, watching that. Yeah, don't watch Hoarders on a big screen. Yeah, don't do that. But I did watch a Netflix movie that I was surprised. I was surprised how really lovely it was, and how the range of emotion, and I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. It's on Netflix. It had Liam Neeson in it, you know, and I like him as an actor, but usually he's kicking someone's ass. Oh, did I say? You know, but usually he's, you know, I mean, you know, all the Taken movies, and he's a spy or he's something, you know. This was a movie about a father and a son, and it was Made in Italy was the title of it. It was so lovely, absolutely lovely, and I was pleasantly surprised that there weren't dead bodies strewn along the way, that it was just a really nice movie that elicited a lot of emotions. So definitely I would recommend that to watch. Other than that, I am still sheltering in place, which means that I shall be getting more things done. I have a quilting day coming up here by myself, but I know that there's a quilt that I want to cut out and start sewing. And so if you're interested in the quilting journey, come over to Quilt Roadies. And I'm really excited because the Stitching with the Sisterlies is creating a community for quilters. And even if you aren't a quilter, it's just another sweet place to hang out. And they are trying to build this community of QuiltTube, kind of like FlossTube, but it's QuiltTube. And I know we'll have fun over there. Because there's some people here that don't cross stitch, that just want to hang out and be with nice people. So see you over on Quilt Roadies if you want to hear all about what I've been up to over there. You all take care. You know how much I appreciate your continued friendship, and I sure do love you guys. Take care.